edition of Deconversion Stories. And today I'm talking with AZKendrick, who's also known as Kendrick. Sorry, I keep adding the S to it for some reason. But anyways, it's AZKendrick, and he's also known on Twitter as at @NM_rocker. So it's a rocker like me. There you go. AZ, I like to talk to people about their journeys out of their religious belief and what brought them to the point that they're at now. You seem to be somewhat of a atheist activist to some degree, especially a little bit on Twitter, anyways. So take us on that journey from that point. When you first started thinking it was nonsense to the point you're at now.
You don't mind if I give a little bit of just a little backstory? Is that okay?
That's what it's all about, man. Absolutely.
No, I was raised in a Christian home. I mean, by some of my first memories are literally in Christian daycare. Yeah. And so, I was just raised, the Bible is true. Everything it says is true. And I just grew up that way. And even when I was in high school, when I kind of developed a drug habit, I still knew there was a God. I didn't follow anything really. I mean, I try not to lie. Well, I don't know about lying and stealing because, I was a major addict, but I still knew there was a God out there. No matter what I did, I still knew there was a God out there that cared for me.
Okay.
But as I got older, I kind of fell away, and eventually I met the girl of my dreams.
Ooh, lucky you.
Oh yeah, no, I met her when I was 24 and she was 18. I went to her senior prom. We were both believers, and we didn't really follow the teaching, so to speak.
Right.
But, we ended up getting engaged and moving in together, and didn't really attend church. But then once our daughter came around, that was it. I dove in deep. We were every weekend. I read the Bible during the week. We said prayers together, and I sought out everything I could to deepen my knowledge of the faith.
Right.
But sorry about that.
That's okay. Let me just back you up there.
Thanks. Just like a little bit nervous.
Oh, you don't have to be nervous, man. This should be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, no, actually I enjoy it because I don't really get to tell a lot of people about my story except on Twitter. It's a semi-closeted atheist thing going on.
Right.
But I just spent probably, I'm 50 years old, and I believed everything that the Bible said till I was about 47 years old.
Wow. So you're quite fresh out of this, I guess.
Oh yeah, no, we're talking about 3 years.
Okay.
And, but I had questions. My wife and I always had questions, about homosexuality and how it's a sin and how it's evil and they're damned to hell. And I just why would someone choose that? So those are questions. It's just, okay, that kind of thing. And it just didn't make sense. Then there's the Ken Hams of the world talking about how it's 6,000 years old and there was a flood, 2,500 years or 4,500 years ago.
Something like that. Yeah.
You do a little Google search and you learn that Egypt was a prospering kingdom at the time.
Yeah.
So, okay, when did this flood happen? So the flood didn't happen, at least when they were saying it, so it was. And homosexuality, how can it be a sin if you don't have a choice, you're born that way?
That's right.
I think it's kind of, rolling in the head. But it wasn't until, like I said, about I moved from Arizona to New Mexico about 6 years ago, and things were kind of rough. And I just started thinking, I'm going to church still. And I wanted to see, I looked for evidence. I wanted to look for evidence that the Bible is true. The first thing I did was, I started looking YouTube, Noah's flood. I typed that in and Aaron Ra popped up. And
go figure.
You look into that series of disproving Noah's flood. Well, I may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but you know, when you start going through all these bits of scientific evidence, and you're like, everything I learned was wrong. So I guess the old monkey fish thing that I used to make fun of, I guess we kind of did. Fish, lungfish, come up on, you know. And so then I started researching evolution, you know, and evolution versus creation.
Yep.
And there's Ra again with the, you know, foundational falsehoods of creationism.
Yeah.
And
Christianity.
Yeah. So I just started looking at this kind of stuff and reading and researching. And believe it or not, I mean, I'm a facts-based guy. You know, once I start seeing things and then someone tells me something, then I'll go Google search. I'll use Google Scholar. I'll go look at something. What are other people saying? And I'm like, this is not what I learned in church. You know, I learned that Adam and Eve, those were real people, and we're all their descendants.
Right.
And wait, just genetics shows that that's not possible. And so this is going through my mind, and I'm just like, I don't get this. This is not going with what I learned.
Right.
And
a friend of mine in the chat had a quick question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you now hate the separatist teachings of the Bible?
The separatist teachings?
Yeah,
like,
well, religious belief is very divisive, and I think that's what he means by that.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not a big fan of religion. If you want to believe, you can believe whatever you want to believe.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? As soon as you start legislating it, trying to impose your beliefs on someone else, you need to get the fuck out of here, because that shit is just not. That does not jive with me.
Right. It's exactly the way I feel.
You know, I have the community I live in it's just raging with Catholics, and that's fine. You just keep that to yourself. You talk about whatever you want and your rosaries or whatever, but don't try to impose your beliefs on me.
That's right.
Or anybody else. You know, and that's been a big thing for me since I've come. You know, I met a lot of gay. I have a lot of gay friends. People I work with that are gay, transgender, and it's like when I was religious, I looked at these people totally different. There was something wrong with them.
Yeah, well, that's what they teach you to think.
Yeah, well, that's it. You know, it's like, oh, these people are evil. They're sinful. They're against God. They hate God or whatever. And it's like, you know what? What was wrong was me. There was something wrong with me, the way I view these people.
Well, I wouldn't say that there was something wrong with you. You were just led down the wrong path of belief. That's all it was. You were fine, but because you were able to change that point of view over time.
Yeah.
Once you had more evidence to demonstrate that the way you used to think was wrong. That's all. You weren't I
guess that's what I mean. It's just kind of like my views were wrong. My understanding of the world I live in and the people that I interact with was wrong.
I mean, misguided.
Yeah, that would be it. I mean, I spent years where, you know, as a white man, I kind of looked down on other skin tones, but I realized that's wrong. Just like, you know, we're all the same. We all bleed the same. We all want to just, you know, we want to live in this world, make it the best that we can, be the best person that we want to be.
Yeah. Well, be the best version of yourself. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, that's true.
I've often said that religion is, you know, we end up, it's like a hangover of the belief systems we were once in, where we sort of think of ourselves in that fashion too, because they teach you right away that you're damaged, you're broken, you're sinful, you need saving. And that kind of lingers with you. So you'll talk about yourself in that fashion, even though you don't really mean to. But it's tough to sort of get onto a new train of thought in that respect. And Randy wasn't here for the beginning of the conversation. Randy, he left his faith about 3 years ago, just so you know.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, you know, and if anyone has any questions, I mean, that would be great too. But
I'm keeping my eye on the chat. When there's a break, I'll bring some up.
I think the real nail that just finished my faith in a God existing was it was my mom. She's a Christian. She still believes, but her mother left the family for whatever reason. But later on, my mom welcomed her back into her life, developed a close relationship, spent a lot of time together. And yeah, I mean, it was great, you know, and I just got to meet my grandmother and spend time with her.
That's awesome.
But came down with Alzheimer's. She was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And so my mom, even though in the past, she spent a lot of time with her, you know, come and hang out. Well, after several, I mean, I don't know, I think it was like 10 years. I mean, I'm surprised. But my mom was diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment.
Oh.
And now and so I was looking at this going, so her gift, her blessing from this God was Alzheimer's. Essentially, I rode to Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's just shit happens, you know, it's just part of natural processes. Some people get an illness, a sickness, a disease. And I weigh these between the two, God gifting that. I'm like, no, you know what? I've learned enough about evolution at this point that no, it's bullshit. It's just something that happened. And that was it, you know, from then on, that was the day. That's I mean, I don't know the day, but 3 years ago, I was like, you know what? That's just total crap.
Did it feel like a light switch was turned on or something?
Yeah, pretty much. I was just coming back from a walk and just stopped, and I'm like, thought to myself, you know what? That is utter bullshit. You know, I mean, she's a wonderful, sweet woman, and you know, and if God were, this is her blessing or gift or whatever, I'm just like, you know what? That's bullshit.
Well, he's an asshole.
Yeah, I just realized that it was just something that happens, whether it's genetics or whatever they find out, then it's just a natural process. And from then on, no, I just started doing all the research I could into finding out, you know, what's the truth? What does the Bible actually say? What did the people believe? I'm just looking for facts. And, you know, because that's kind of what I needed. You know, I needed to take, you know, I read through the Bible probably 7 times and overlooked, you know, all the evil crap, you know, slavery and genocide and whatever else and the mythology, and then started looking at what's reality, what's real, what have we been able to show to be true, and compared it to the Bible, and just kept nailing it down. You know?
Well, I mean, the only thing I guess that you could say is quote unquote real in there is some of the places that they mention, right? Those are actual places, but the stories around all that shit is just
I like
well, most of it anyways.
Yeah, I like to label the Bible as historical fiction. Rolled in with
yeah,
I mean, that's pretty much when I'm up on Twitter and someone's giving me, you know, whatever they're typing, I'm just like, dude, it's historical fiction. You know, if you go back through and you look and go, well, prophecy, Ezekiel 26, when Nebuchadnezzar is supposed to decimate island city of Tyre. Doesn't happen. Tyre's still there. You can go to Google Maps and you'll pull it up. It's that's a failure right there. You know, Noah's flood. Come on. You know, they don't believe in, you know, these young earth creationists don't believe in evolution, adaptation or whatever. But if you look at it and you go with how many species or animals or kinds, whatever the hell a kind is, it's like you'd have to have 11 species. I think it's 11 speciation events a day for the X number of thousands of years. And like, they don't, I don't know. So
well, there wouldn't have been enough room on the fucking ark for just the insects, let alone all the animals.
Could you imagine who had to carry syphilis? I'm sorry, but that didn't, you know. But yeah, no, it's kind of funny when I look at stuff like that and look back and you just shake your head, going, "Oh my God, I believe that kind of stuff. I believe there was a guy you know on a boat."
Well, sure, man. You were told this stuff by people you trusted, right? So
yeah, and then that's
what's not to believe.
That is the key. Is that if you get them when you're young, you know, if you teach a kid, and like I did with my daughter, you know, I taught her that this is true. The Bible's true. There's a God out there. You know, Jesus loves you. He came and died for you on the cross. And well, thankfully, she figured it out on her own too. And
good for her.
Yeah, no, and my wife is, when I first kind of started doubting and talking about it. She's like, "Oh my God, my husband," you know, like, what? That's bullshit. That stuff's fake. So it's like we're a family of atheists now. So
Awesome.
it's pretty good. Yeah, you know.
Awesome. Spread that word, man. Spread the word, brother. Spread the word.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I know. I do that on Twitter. I mean, I interact with a lot of atheists on Twitter, and I'll go hit up AIG, and I can't hit up Ken Ham anymore since he blocked me, but just one of the crowd. But it's not that I don't hate Christians. I just
no.
It's the beliefs that they try to legislate. If you, like I said before, if you want to believe in something like that, go ahead. But as soon as you start putting that at the in a law, and you hit me up at the street, knocking on my door, that's got to stop. So I mean, that's what I've actually in the last year or so become a member of the Satanic Temple, and
wow, cool.
Yeah, I stand for almost all their positions. That's something that I kind of believe. Like there's 7 tenets. I mean, when you talk about abortion rights, gay rights, and things like that, they're right there at the forefront doing whatever kind of mayhem they need to, and lawsuits and the Baphomet statue. Come on, you're next to the 10 Commandments. One day, brother.
Well, they have that bench that's near the 10 Commandments there now. I posted a picture of that the other day that I found that someone else had posted. I thought, hey, that's pretty cool. So what are you drinking? Just out of curiosity?
Well, it's Samuel Adams Cosmic Sour.
Ooh.
I don't know. It's kind of different. It hit me at first like a Sour Patch Kid. But,
Sour Patch beer. Who'd have fucking thought?
I was sitting there with the Total Wine with my wife today and picked up some scotch, and I was looking to get
very good.
I'm just gonna pick up some some cheap stuff, and she's like, "What? We're a Total Wine. Get something fun." She's like, "Here, Samuel Adams multi-pack." I'm like, "Okay." Wife's telling me to buy good beer.
Well, Sam Adams is pretty. I like a couple of the Sam Adams, but that's a little different here in Canada. They make it up here, so it's using Canadian recipes, I suppose you could say, and it's a little bit higher alcohol content too. So.
Oh well.
The one I'm drinking right now is 5.5%. So.
Yeah, this is only 4.6. I should have brought up my Santa Fe Java Stout. That's about 8, but I didn't want to.
Nice.
I wanted to take it a little easy for the video,
Well, every beer that Aaron was giving me when I was in Texas was like 11 or 9 to 11% or better.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so
dude,
he knows his beers, but they're all dark beers and stuff. He even gave me one that was had habanero in it, and I was like, "Woo, tastes like awesome beer with a kick at the end."
Right on. That's Aaron's a great guy. I met him in Colorado this year.
Very cool.
Yeah, he gave his Darwin Day presentation. My wife and I drove up there for that. That's the way to celebrate my birthday. So, yeah. But,
he's good people. He's really good people.
Yeah, he is.
Fun, down-to-earth guy.
Oh, my God. I wasn't sure what to expect, but, man, he was just like the coolest dude ever, just kind of hanging out, chatting with everybody before his presentation, and it was well worth the drive. But, yeah. Shoot, I'm trying to think. I just... Like with my deconversion, I'm just sitting there, following people like you and others on Twitter and YouTube, and just trying to learn and grow and, kind of spread my wings, so to speak, and gain knowledge, because I missed out a lot of science, a lot of facts, just because I just didn't pay any attention.
Want to accept it, maybe.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I remember I used to make fun of the monkey. Like I said, the monkey fish joke was one talking about evolution, and it's kind of funny. Is my I got a brother and sister-in-law that are younger than I am, probably a lot younger, obviously, but probably 18 years or so, and they've been atheists for I have no idea how long, but just they talk smack, and I'm like, come on, and. Pascal's wager, that was a good one too. Was you just
horse shit.
And now we're like, yep, you were right. just because I'm older doesn't mean I'm always right. And, you know, we got a good relationship and understanding and stuff like that.
Yep.
Pretty cool. Do you have any questions for me, or I'm not sure. I'm just kind of like all over the place, and
that's okay. Since you've come out, which, you know, like we were saying about 3 years ago now, what's the relationship like with any of your religious families, members and friends, we'll say? Like, has anything changed, or do they kind of just accept you anyways and hope you come back or something like that? Or?
Well, you know, as far as like family wise, as far as they know I'm an atheist, it's all on my in-laws side. Like my mom and my stepdad and sister and whatnot, they don't know, and I'm trying to keep that aside because, you know, my mom, I think it would actually crush her, and I wouldn't want her to know. But my in-laws, you know, it hasn't really affected our relationship at all.
Right.
My sister-in-law, another sister-in-law, she's always trying to bring up, oh, I know this. My friend, she goes to this liberal church and they accept gays because I guess they think that I don't believe in the Bible and God because of I have a gay friend. It's like, no, that's not it. It's, I don't think it's true. I don't see any reason to believe in a God. You know, all the evidence to me points against a God. You know, if you go through and if you start in Genesis chapter 1 and work your way through, you're going to find, you know what? Other than a few names and dates, it's all crap. And then, I mean, it's just not true. And then, you know, I follow, you know, like Digital Hammurabi, and
that's great. He's awesome.
Oh man,
they are awesome, I should say.
Yes, they are awesome. Dr. Josh has really helped me out just with understanding because he's got that background. He's got the understanding of the language and the history and the context. And it makes me go, okay, that makes sense. These people didn't know any better. This is what they thought. This is how they lived. And so, yeah. And it's helped me to understand because like when I first got on Twitter, I was the complete dumpster fire. You know? I mean, just a shit show waiting to happen, you know, and I can still get that way, but I try to lean more towards evidence. This is what we know, you know, to the best of human knowledge. This is what we got, you know, and that's how I work. You know, if I'm interacting with somebody, whether it's with religion or maybe let's just say politics, for example, if someone can point to a fact or information that's, you know, can be confirmed that it's legit, I'll go, you know what? I'm wrong. My position is wrong. And you know what? You are right. It doesn't necessarily take me months to figure something out or a week. You can tell me right now, oh shit. You know what? You're right. And boom.
Yeah.
And
that's what I would say is one of the best things about being proven wrong. You're no longer wrong.
That's it. You know, I want to know as many true things and as few false things as possible. And, you know, that's where I'm going. Like I said, I've got a lot of years to make up, and, you know, between Jackson, and you know,
Jackson's great.
No, oh my God. It's like sometimes I'm listening to this video, watching the video or listening to it, I'm going, what? I have no clue what you're saying. Dumb it down for us people. You know? But, you know, enough listenings and enough research. Like I said, thank my non-existent God for Google. And I can start figuring out what he's talking about. But, you know, it's just those kind of things. You know, there's so many people out there that, you know, are following YouTube just for information, just to learn and to grow. And
poor Jackson, I'm constantly tagging him in shit with debates against Christians who are anti-evolution.
Oh,
and he's always inviting them onto his channel to talk with them about it, but none of them ever do. Well, rarely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like, you know, I mean, you get these people and they're just, they can make all kinds of claims, but can you back any of them up?
That's the thing.
But the Bible is the claim. You've got to provide me evidence to show that what is stated in there is true.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I learned in church that it was Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They wrote the Bible. I mean, the gospel. Yeah. And then you learn, well, you know, that book of John was written about, I don't know, 60, 70 years after Jesus died. The average age of people was, what, 30 tops? You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, those fishermen didn't know Greek either, you know.
Now let's talk about, you know, oh, well, look at all the prophecies that are fulfilled. Oh, sure. You mean the prophecies that were written about well after the fact? It's real easy to have them happen if they're written about after.
Written after the fact, or these Old Testament prophecies came true. Well, yeah, guys that might have studied the Old Testament knew what was going to be predicted. They read this, they knew it, and people wrote a story.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not really sure how that proves anything, but yeah.
Hint: it doesn't.
No, yeah, I agree. It's just, man, time for a seltzer.
Oh, look, you're switching up now. Once it was a bottle, now it's a can.
Oh, I'm a fisted drinker, buddy.
I like this guy.
I know for at work. It's just, what are you doing? We're 30, buddy. Yeah. So, but I'm just trying to think what else. You know, I mean, it just takes research, you know, and I just wish that I'm hoping that you know, as time goes on, that there's more and more atheists that we can speak out, we can talk, this whole just train up your children, indoctrinate your children. I mean, no one in their right mind, to me, would believe these stories in the Bible as being literally true unless you were taught as a child. I look back and saw adults come to church, and I don't know. I can't understand it. I really can't. You know?
Yeah, it blows my mind too, man. How people could actually believe that stuff was real.
Yeah,
I mean, one of the biggest stories I think that made me scratch my head the most was the resurrection. Okay, this is talking about, you're talking about a guy who, it wasn't even 3 days. It was like a day and a half, really, time-wise. And after cell death, there's no fucking coming back, period. Because, you know, you get brain death, then finally about a half an hour after brain death, all the cells completely die out. Cannot come back if all the cells are dead. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yeah, no, and then when you look, you got that. That's just, the magic part is nuts. But then if you go to the logistics, the facts is that the Romans didn't take people down off of the cross. Oh, it's Sabbath or whatever. Oh, hell no. They left people on their tree, cross, whatever they're crucified to, for days and days, and let the birds pick at their eyes and their body, just to instill fear. And it's like, oh no, we got to get these guys off because it's getting dark. No, that's not how it goes. I mean, once you learn, I mean, because it all makes sense when people you trust tell you these stories and go, okay, yeah, it's written here. I mean, they wouldn't write it if it wasn't true, and they wouldn't tell me if it wasn't true. But as soon as you start reading elsewhere, you know, that this isn't how things were done, that Pontius Pilate was not, oh, I better be careful. My wife warned me. That guy was brutal. He didn't give a rat's ass what the Jews thought. You know, I mean, so it's just all things that you learn after the fact, and you look back, and you know, I get on Twitter and I try to share facts with people. I try to share my position and justify my position, not just say, oh, there's no God. No, I justify it with the points that there isn't evidence where we'd expect it. You look for, like, the Bible, for example. You look at it like we've been talking about. It has the stories in there. Well, when you go and look for the evidence, it's not there. You know, there wasn't a mass population of Jews in Egypt. There's no evidence for an Exodus.
No, none at all.
No. the genetics for, Adam and Eve, let alone Noah and his kids after, that doesn't work.
No.
Tracing back mitochondrial DNA. I mean, all these different things, and you're like, no, it's not true. The evidence is not there. Everything points against it.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as other religions go, we got Judaism, who believes in Yahweh, but the Messiah hasn't come.
That's the first draft. It's like Star Wars and Empire, and
exactly
three different chapters.
Exactly what you got, because then you got Christianity and Yahweh, but we've got Yahweh plus Jesus.
Yeah. Then you get the Quran later on.
Yep. Islam, we got Allah, but Allah has no son, and Jesus was just a prophet, and Muhammad was, and then you've got the polytheistic religions, and
Yep.
They can't all be right, but
nope.
I guarantee you they can all be wrong.
Yeah.
And
yep.
I'm pretty confident.
It's likely they're all wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident on that one. You know.
Well, I mean, it's really a part of our evolution. I think to believe in these sorts of things, it was like a natural thing. If we didn't have explanations, we would make things up. Like when we didn't know what lightning was, we had, deities like Thor to explain it or whatever. Right. So we just had these ideas, and sooner or later, like the thought of gods was invented by man. And then religion came along to sort of like an organizational thing about these religions, because they realized that there was an opportunity to take control of people with their beliefs and stuff like that, right? So
that's
unscrupulous people did that.
Oh yeah, they're still doing it today.
Oh, yeah.
But, no, exactly. I mean, I honestly think that religion had a place in its time. I mean. People
didn't understand. A survival thing, I think.
Exactly. Postulated ideas and explanations, and it was just like the start of, air quotes, research. But but that's where they went. And like you said, people used it to their advantage to enrich themselves. I mean, my God, look at the Catholic. My God, there it is, still there. But
that's okay. I say it too sometimes.
Yeah, it's just part of that thing. I still
it's metaphorical, people.
But I mean, look at the Catholic Church. Look how much money they amassed from just tithes, and hey, you know what? You're a sinner. Pay us, and you'll be forgiven. And it's just like, wait, all this money, all this gold, all this property you have, and look at the poverty and the homelessness in some of the countries they're the most powerful in. It's like, really?
The Vatican has enough money to feed the world something like 5 times over.
Oh yeah, no, I just,
or something like that. Anyways.
Oh, I can believe it. I mean, they have so much wealth. I mean, come on.
And if God is real, why does the Pope need a bulletproof car?
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's just, he's got to have that Pope mobile and be bulletproof. There's just all these things like that. Why does God need me to give money every week?
What does he need with money anyways? You could snap his fingers and something would pop into existence.
You
would think.
Everything's his. The cattle on 10 hills or something like that. I forget exactly how that goes. But
I can't remember.
Yeah, but I mean, everything's his, and he's just sharing the wealth with me. I'm like, could you share a little more? I mean, I was still tithing and ended up giving my house up in foreclosure. It's like, where was the wealth for me?
Yeah, you're sharing the wealth with him, and why is he not sharing the wealth with something like 9 million starving children?
Oh, don't even get me started on that.
Yeah,
one of the bands I listened to, the Order of Elijah. They used to be a Christian band, but full-on atheist now, and that's some of the stuff that they sing about. I think I don't remember, it's 6 or 9 million children dying every year, and they break it down.
That was a Sam Harris speech, I believe. The first time I heard that. Yeah,
that's part of their lyrics. Then, that's and it just makes you think, and you see all these people that, you're starting to see people with big names, that latest guy from Hillsong or something, just going, you know what, this stuff isn't true, and walking away from their faith. Mm-hmm. And it's just a matter of, hopefully a matter of time before this stuff goes away. Because I mean, there's nothing that religion can do for people that secular society can.
Purple Rhymes with Orange made a great point in the chat. Why do evangelist preachers have private jets or planes, and yet we have vets who are homeless?
Yep. Exactly. Well, that way they can uninterrupted. I remember seeing this on interview or YouTube or something like that. That way, if God just speaks to them, they can stand up and just praise the Lord and have a conversation with them. That's like,
right.
Okay, bullshit. That's why I need another jet. That's why I need a $50 million jet or whatever it is,
Yeah. Like doorknob heads, legalized scams pay. Yeah.
No, it's like, I'm too honest. I couldn't do that. I couldn't step up and, hey, you know what? I could be a preacher and make a lot of cash. That's like, I'm too honest. I couldn't do that. I can't lie. I can't be a liar,
Yeah. Well, now you got to continue lying about it, right? So why bother?
Yeah. No, I'm good. And it's just, I just look at these people. That's another thing that I thought about too. Is I'm sitting there in the pews, barely making it and watching the guy walking. Are those snakeskin? Oh, are those ostrich skin boots? How much do those boots cost you? How much does that suit cost you? As I'm sitting there writing my check out going, 10%. Damn, I just bought that boy another TV. Son of a bitch. Yeah. No, it's just, yeah. No, you just start thinking about it. I mean, that's one of the things I still do. I mean, I don't get down on myself that much for that. I just start thinking about all the times, all the past. I'm like, man, this thing, I could have my house paid for if I hadn't get 10%.
Yeah, right.
Years, but as an adult,
you know what? You just gave me a great idea. For all you people that used to pay tithes to the churches, start an account and put that percentage of money into that account and see over time just how much money you ended up giving to the church. And you could be very likely that you came up with at least enough for a down payment on a decent car.
Oh, God.
So.
Oh, yeah. No, that's what, no, I still remember writing checks and looking at, tax time going, there's thousands. I didn't give 10% of my gross, but I gave 10% of the net for 2 decades. And
wow.
Man, this house.
Kids through college.
Oh, man, I just feel bad. But, hey,
go knock on their door. Hey, I want my fucking money back.
There was a pastor that said that, years ago. I had to go hit him up. He's all, just donate to the church. Give to the church. Give to God. And if it doesn't work out for you, come talk to me. I'll give you your money back. I didn't go see him because he's got like 5 churches, from this little one that he started off, and I was helping part of the setup and tear down team on the weekend. Every Sunday I'd pick up the trailer, drive it over, and unload all the stuff and chairs and set up the children's church and everything. Mm-hmm. I had to go see him, ask him for a little bit of cash back. I could use a loan. Not a loan. I want a refund.
See if you can get one from him.
Product.
But I think my friend Mark in the chat was like, he was saying that it's the perfect savings plan for the newly deconverted, and I think it'd be cool. I mean, if you're able to do it, like to still do the 10% thing, start an account. If you've left the church, you no longer have to give it to them, but you're comfortable and can get by without that 10%. Start an account and see just how much money. See how much money that you've been giving to the church over the years. It might surprise you, and then you've got all that cash. Say, make it so that you can't access the account for something like 5 years, and then see what kind of shit you have in there after the 5-year period.
Oh my God! Yeah, I could definitely. I want to get a truck.
You could probably buy 2.
I could probably buy like, 3/4 ton lifted diesel for that. But
get a 5th wheel too, or something
with cash. But
yeah.
Hey, whatever the rage. What's done is done.
Yeah.
But at least I'm free, and that money is we take vacations, go stuff, things
Sure,
like
fucking,
that for us.
absolutely. That's
I
what I do.
I mean, I still
I don't.
donate to charities here and there and whatnot, but I'm
Yeah,
not
me too. Me
someone's
too.
pocket, that's for sure.
I actually run a couple of charities every now and again. So we collect money for Ronald McDonald House and Children's Hospital. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, I haven't. It's been a few years, but we'll kickstart that again at some point. Because well, it's hard to get bands to play without paying them. So
What?
yeah, they no, for what we do, they bring a reduced rate. They take less than half of what they normally charge, right? Which is, I think, is fair, and it's for a good cause. So eventually I'll have enough money to kickstart something and have some more concerts. And basically during those concerts, I promote the need for blood donations as well, and try and sign up people to my blood donor group. And I've been able to recruit at least 40 or 50 people doing that. So
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's what I'm not sure. I need to check and see if I can donate blood. I haven't spent some teenage years and early 20-somethings with the needle. But
yeah,
I don't think they want me to. I mean, that's I've been tested and whatnot, but I don't know. I'm not sure how they look at that.
Bring those results with you.
Yeah.
Tell them you have all the records showing that you're free and clear. And the need for blood is always there, especially if you're O negative, because that's universal. So definitely, if you can do it, at least find out, man.
Yeah, that's what I
still donate for research purpose too, which is just as good in my opinion.
Right on. No, I see my doctor towards about 2 weeks. I can ask him to take a look and see, because I mean I said I don't personally have any results. This is United States. I go from doctor to doctor and move from state to state, and records got lost. I mean, I had a local doctor. Everything was great. Got bought up by some organization, bankrupt, and
really,
we don't have any. Okay, so now I started my current doctor, about 2 years ago, and where's your records? I got nothing, so it's all fresh. It's kind of sad.
Okay. If you get tested and you come up clear, you're still in the good.
Yeah, no, that's something I need to do, because that's, with various blood tests and everything, I know that I've come up clear. And I mean, and it's been, 30 years.
If nothing has surfaced in that 30 years, you're fine, man.
Yeah, I know. That's one thing I'm glad. I was so bad. I mean, I started that stuff in high school as a junior. Kind of backwards there. But, so, I mean, that was a rough time. But
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's different being a junior in high school and shooting up meth. They don't run into too many of those people that are still alive. And thankfully, like I said, I got out of my early 20s, and met the woman of my dreams. Been married 24 years.
Is she on Twitter?
Yeah, she's on Twitter, kind of.
Well, I think she retweeted the show.
Yeah, so. Actually, you know what? She did. She did retweet the show. She did, because she's proud of her husband. It's come a long way. Having been a drug addict and just really just a total shit show and just a mess. And
but she seemed to be way past that now.
Oh yeah, no, things have come a long way. And we've gone through some hardships in our marriage, and I'm not relationally per se, but, where my daughter was really young, we were so, I'd say, I use the word poor, that we were out recycling cans so we can buy baby food. And, and then I got lucky, hooked up with the IBW and, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. And I got a good job and ended up being, working at night as a teacher for the apprenticeship program while she went to school to be a teacher. Now she's a teacher, and we both happen to work for the same school district. And so things have come a long way. I mean, I'm proud of where I was to where I've been. The most important thing to me is my family, my wife and my daughter, and nothing is more important than them. So
I'm reading a couple of the comments here, and Purple Rhymes with Orange is saying that this in the States, they won't take some people no matter how long it's been, if you were a user, especially with needles, I imagine. And it's the same here. But as I said, still see about blood donations for research purposes, because you're still saving lives if you do that. Think of it that way. And the Partners for Life program that I started, I can actually have people in my group that do that. They go and donate for research purposes, and it still counts to the totals for my group every year, which is why I'm still up over 500 donations every year. So, and Purple was saying that they admitted being bi, so they won't let him donate at all, even though he hasn't had sex in 5 years. So, and they're O negative too, which sucks because O negative is such a needed blood type.
I mean, just with all this technology and screening technology and stuff that's going out there, I mean, you'd think that there'd be something they could do and use, and I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean,
I think that they should. They should have some screening process where they can test the blood of you,
yeah,
especially if you're O negative, and if you come up clean, fucking donate.
Yep.
I don't know, but and I say all this, but yet the other side of my head is going, we still have to consider the recipients. We're talking about many of these folks have their autoimmune system. They have like zero immunity. So if there is any issues, and that could kill them, and that's not what we want, right? So I understand their strict rules, and I back them, but there are some situations, like if you come up clean, you should be able to donate. Bottom line,
right? I mean, like, and you said too, for research, if because I mean, it's just
still saving lives.
Yeah, because I mean, then you're not using blood that you can use for donations. You're using, okay, we don't want to take this person's blood for donations because of X, Y, or Z. You can use that for experimental purposes, research and whatnot, and use the blood viable, so to speak.
Absolutely,
for recipients.
You never know when your blood could come up with a cure for something.
Yeah, I mean,
how amazing would that feel?
That would be awesome.
Right? I mean, I always feel good every time I go and donate anyways, and they send me, it's great now. And I got them to start doing this because they were doing it in Europe in a couple of countries. And I suggested it, this is about a year and a half ago now, and they've been doing it since. I said, you know what? You need to send texts to people to let them know when their donation is going out to save somebody. And I've gotten a few since then.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
They've been doing that. Yeah. Because that is what keeps people coming back. When you tell them that they're actually making a difference, that's what keeps them coming back.
No doubt. I mean, I don't know. I'm an organ donor at the minimum,
For you. Me too.
I'm not going to have any use for any parts of me. They're not going to want my liver. That's the liver's going to be out. That might be some kind of research thing, but everything else is going to be good as long as they don't need to see up close either. But
yeah, I'm not sure which of my organs are going to be viable by the time I'm gone, but at least they might need my spleen.
Yeah, I mean, my liver is going to be perfectly preserved. It's pickled. I'm telling you. So.
But hey, being an organ donor means they can take them for research purposes as well too. So.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah. If they go, oh shit, look at this thing's got some sort of disease in it. Let's cut this out. Let's look at it and see if we can treat it somehow. And yeah, so you never know.
Oh yeah, no, that's what, and that's just one of the things. It's just like anything I can do to help other people. I've been through a lot personally. Whether it's emotionally or whatever. And if I can help someone physically, whether it's research or directly with the, being able to use my organ, that one of my organs, that'd be great. It's. I did some things. I've done some things in my life I'm not too proud of, and anything I can do to make up for that is definitely a positive. I gotta have said stuff.
Miss Sassy. Sassy, wait, is that you, Sassy? You keep changing your name. And what's this crap? I hear you're an atheo-pagan now.
Atheo-pagan?
Make up your mind, Sybil. I mean, come on. Yeah, she'll probably ask me in a second. I'm pretty sure that's Sassy Atheist. Trout bubbles.
Oh.
Well, my friend, we are closing in on the hour. It's,
right.
I know it went by pretty quick, and we're worried about being able to fill the time.
Minutes, what's going on? But that's cool. No,
But I always do an after party. Now you are under no obligation to join, but if you've got an extra hour or so, you can probably sit in with us.
I can sit in for a bit. Yeah, my wife's downstairs going, "What's he doing?" Thumbs going, "Come on."
Well, let her know that we still have a little bit of time left.
Oh yeah, no, she's good. She's just happy I'm here. She encouraged me. Like when you first asked me, I'm like, I'm not sure. She's like, "You got to do it. You got to do it." I'm like, "I'm nobody." She's like, "You know what? You're somebody to me." So it's like,
No. Never say you're nobody, because you are somebody. You are here, you're alive, and you are a voice for the atheist community. Don't keep it toned down. We need as much of them as possible.
Nope.
It's like Godless Engineer and Caitlin always say, use your voice.
Yep.
Right?
What you can do your part.
That's right.
That's what I'm
You're part of the change. All right. Well, why don't we wrap this up and we'll get into an after party. I'm going to go have a quick smoke as usual, and then I'll come back and do the thing. But anyways, I'm going to thank everyone for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Being here.
Yeah. Look at that. Double horns. All right. Dio would be proud.
Thank you.
And thank you, man, Mr. Kendrick, for jumping in here with me. That was a great chat.
Thank you for asking me to be.
Oh, well, hey, everyone that wants to share their story, these stories are needed for people to hear, right? Because if we help somebody somewhere, then it's all the better.
Yep, that's what we're here.
That's why I do this. All right, guys, we're going to end this one today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show as much as we did, having a great conversation. I will be doing an after party. If you are interested in jumping into the after party, you can message me on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, try me on Facebook. I'll look for messages there as well. And I will send you a link so you can join us. Now, remember that there really is only going to be room for 4 people, because myself and AZKendrick are going to be in the chat, and it only allows 6 with StreamYard, which is actually, in my opinion, a little bit better than Hangouts, because 10 people can get out of control. So anyway, we'll do that, and I will send you guys fresh links if you want to join. And as I always say at the end of these things, hang on. I keep forgetting. I just started up a PayPal me. If you guys are interested in helping me out with these streams and paying for the stuff that goes along with that, you can send a donation that way. I've had a few already, so it's already working, and that's fantastic. And it's helped me quite a bit, just to let you know. And I just dumped $400 on new parts for my brakes, which I'm going to be getting fixed on Monday, because every time I drive now, it's like, so yeah, I got to get my brakes fixed. But yeah, anyway. If I don't have a car, I can't make more money at work. So, I got to get that done. All right, guys. Like I always say at the end of these things, it's called faith because it's not knowledge. And we will see you guys next time.
Later.